There's a shake-up at the world's biggest wind turbine maker. Vestas says its CFO is out after the company reported a loss early this morning. Joining us for more is Olivia Sterns. Let's start with those results.
All right, well, it's a major miss, and it looks like the CFO is quitting to shoulder the blame. In fact, the loss is 4 times larger than what analysts had forecast. So let's take a look at the numbers. For 2011, they're now reporting a loss of 166 million euros. That compares to the average analyst estimate of a loss of just 40 million euros. Last year in 2010, they actually had a profit of 156 million euros. They're also reporting a negative EBIT margin. That's just a measure of profitability for this year. And really, it caps a terrible run for the stock over the past 12 months. It's fallen more than 60%, making it one of the worst performers in the stock 600.
I mean, I suppose the question to be asked is whether this loss boils down to bad management or actually how much of it is the market in general.
Yes, well, till now they actually said don't confuse a bad market with bad management, and today they do appear to be blaming both. So first, they revised the profit forecast down twice. Initially, they said it was going to be 250 million euros. Then in January, they said it was actually going to be 0. And now today, they have this loss 4 times larger than what was forecast. And Norremark, the CFO, who actually became COO just in January, he's resigned. He was part of a bigger restructuring program. They just cut 10% of jobs, and really analysts have turned quite negative on the management. You see that reflected in the ratings on the stock. Just 5 analysts now have a buy on the stock compared to 14 who rate it at a sell.
So Norremark out, but my goodness, this industry really faces major challenges.
They overexpanded is what people think, right?
Yes, and of course with all the austerity sweeping across Europe, one of the first things on the chopping block are subsidies for renewable energy. So, for example, Spain just recently, last month, said they were going to cut subsidies for renewable energy to curb its budget deficit. In Germany, that's actually the region's biggest market for renewables. They're now planning to phase out support for solar panels by 2017. And here in Britain, the government wants to limit support for solar panels after prices plunged 50% over the past year. Now, the big reason for the fall in solar panel price, of course, is the glut of supply that we saw come on board from China. And you know, before the crisis, Europe had this goal of getting 20% of its renewable energy by the end of the decade from renewable energy. But of course, with all the austerity and cuts to subsidies.
And at the moment, Vestas' business in the States is doing very well, but if the government does withdraw those subsidies, Vestas has said it'll fall off a cliff.
Yes, and also in the U.S., they're looking at reducing these subsidies. So very unlikely to hit those renewable energy targets because of all the austerity digging in.
Olivia Sterns, thank you.